What's going on YouTube? It's Dragon Master 2393 here, coming at you with a deck profile. I know it's been a while. The team's been pretty busy because everybody either has school or they're working. I guess I'm pretty much the only one right now who's putting up anything on the channel. I don't know if anybody else is. Let's go ahead and get started. This is one of my favorite decks. I built it when I was younger, when it first came out. I was a big fan of the Elemental Hero archetype, and when their lesser heroes came out, the NEO-SPACIANs, I thought they were pretty cool, so I decided to make a deck around it. And the deck wasn't really anything competitive or anything good, not until Return of the Duels came out with their new spell card, Contact Fusion. So ever since that came out, it's been really competitive, really consistent. Well, for me, it has anyway. But let's go ahead and get started. First off, we have one Air Hummingbird, one Grand Mole, one Dolphin, and one Panther, and one Scarab. These are your main NEO-SPACIANs that you're going to be running in the deck. I only run one each of. That's it. No more, no less. So there goes your Spacians. Next, you only run 2 copies of Elemental Hero Neos. 1 is too little, 2 is just right, 3 is overkill, and plus you get bad draws or dead hands if you have more than 2. Next up, we have Stratos to search out your Prismas or your Neos, whatever you need to get to your hand. 3 Prisma. He's a key monster in the deck. He'll go ahead and he'll copy the name of any NEO-SPACIAN or Neos that's in your deck, and they become that, even if they Veiler it or break through it. If you still activate the effect, you still pay the cost. It just doesn't get the name, so you still get to pitch them from deck to grave. So that helps out a lot. That's the monster count. Now we're on to the spells. Pretty big lineup for spells. I don't know how consistent it is because of all the spells, but it's really consistent. I like it. I like it a lot. First off, we got the Trinity, the Dark Hole, the Heavy Storm, and the Reborn. Then we go ahead, we have, shit. Goddamn. Sorry about that. We have 2 MSTs. Next we have the key card, 3 Miracle Contacts. This card is really good ever since it came out for the NEO-SPACIANs. Let me go ahead and see if we can focus on that. Okay. Well, anyway, basically what it does is that you can send from your side of the field, your graveyard, or your hand, your respective NEO-SPACIANs and Elemental Heroes that are for that fusion, and send them back to the deck to summon that monster, which is really good. Next up, we have 3 Contact Outs. Now, this deck can push for game, it can OTK. I personally think it does pretty good on both ends. It just player preference anyway. I don't prefer to go OTK all the time, but if I can, I'll do it. If not, then I'll go ahead and just do like a slow match if I can. Only run 2 Convert Contacts for, like I said, consistency. Got a NEO-SPACIAN in your hand, and you activate it. You can only activate it when no monsters are on the field. You activate it, you send a NEO-SPACIAN from your hand and your deck to the graveyard. You shuffle and draw 2. So, deck thinning. Next up, we have 2 Miracle Fusions for the Prisma and Stratos that are in the grave, and sometimes like an Aqua Dolphin or Hummingbird, or I don't know, anything that's in the graveyard that's like going to be dead later on in the game. So you can just go ahead and just Miracle Contact to the next hero fusion. Next up, I run 2 Super Polys. I run this for Neos in my hand, and other cards like Hummingbird or like Dead MSTs, or just something stupid. Just activate the pitch. Mostly Neos. Next, we have your E-Calls to grab your Stratos, your Prisma, or your Neos. Now we have your 2 Hero Lives, which also perform the OTK. What I usually do is that I'll go into a Hero Lives, grab Prisma. Depending on what I have. If I have a Prisma in my hand, I'll go a Hero Lives into a Prisma, summon a Prisma, activate both their effects, pitch whatever, like Hummingbird and Neos, and then going for Air Neos OTK. We have 2 Oversouls for the Neos, because if you pitch them with either Prisma effect or a Super Poly, and they're in the grave, and you just kind of want to sort of push for game, you could just activate Oversoul and summon a normal monster, Elemental Hero, out of your deck. Out of your graveyard. I'm sorry. And so he's a 25 beat stick. Not much can really get over that unless they like lance it or something stupid. For more consistency, I run just 2 Upstart Goblins. I would like 3, but I'm pretty comfortable with 2. So, yep. Next up, we have 2 Pot of Dualities. I've been looking up. Pot of Duality is going at 3, so that's going to make the deck really, really more consistent. Because you don't really do a lot of specialing in the first turn, in the first 2 turns actually. You more like just do a setup, which is okay. And the only 2 traps I run are Judgment and a Hero Blast. Hero Blast is really good because people don't really expect it, because they just expect the deck to be a massive load of spells, which it already is. But Judgment to protect you, and Hero Blast to like destroy any monster under than 2500, because it says any normal hero monster. So Elemental Hero Neos is a pretty big bitch, 2500. But that's the monster, spell, and trap lineup. Now we're going to go ahead and go on to the extra deck. We have 1 Air Neos, 1 Grand Neos, 1 Aqua Neos, 1 Flare Neos, 1 Dark Neos, and 1 Storm Neos. I like all the Neos fusions for their own respective effects. Storm Neos, he's a heavy storm. Doesn't really need to... Well, yeah, I guess I do need to explain it a little bit. Basically, you summon him, you can activate his effect, he becomes a heavy storm. But he can be judgmented, he can be Starlight Roaded, he can be negated by anything, like Veil or whatever. But at the end phase, if this card was summoned, if you don't have NEO-SPACIAN on the field, which I don't run NEO-SPACIAN, obviously, at the end phase, when he goes back to the extra deck, everything on the field, including your opponent's side of the field, your field, they all go back to the deck and shuffle, which is really good. It gets rid of problem cards or face-down cards. Dark Neos, if you don't know what he does, all he does is that he can negate your opponent's monster effects until either this card leaves the field or your opponent's monster leaves the field. So, Flare Neos, he gains attack equal to the number of spell and trap cards on your side of the field by 400. So let's say your opponent go ahead and activates a field spell, sets 3 and pass. Well, you go into Flare Neos, and he gains, was it like 1200 attack? So he's already a big bitch right then. But still at the end phase, they go back to the extra deck. My personal favorite was Grand Neos. I'll get to him in a minute. Aqua Neos. You pitch a card from your hand to destroy a card in your opponent's hand just by random. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't get to look at it or nothing. You just send, destroy. I guess it's like a -1 to your opponent, or to you, or both. I don't know, but I don't care. It's less cards in their hand that I got to worry about. My personal favorite is Grand Neos. Basically, if I can't go Grand Neos, I'm already losing, because you go on him and you can already bounce stuff back without attacking, just like his younger self, Grand Mole. Grand Mole has to attack to bounce. He doesn't. You could just summon, declare the effect, bounce, and then you get a free 25 attack. And then the OTK that goes off with this guy. I only run one. Like I said, I only run one of each fusion, but I only run one of him because, for one, he is so hard to get a hold of, and when you can find him, people want to overvalue him because he's only been printed once. But fuck that. Okay, so basically, like Hummingbird gives you life points depending on the cards in your opponent's hand. What he does is that he gains the difference in attack between your life and your opponent's life. So let's say you go ahead and you hero lives and you do all them crazy shenanigans and you go into hit this guy. Well, that's 6,500 already on the board. And then if they're living just by a little bit, you just contact out into a Neos and a Hummingbird, and that extra 25 will be game. But there you go, guys. That's not really my whole extra deck. I was about to cut it off, but those are just my main Neos fusions. Next up, because I run Super Poly, it's time for the Omni Heroes. Next up, we have 2 Shinings. Everybody knows what Shining does. He gains 32. He gains 300 for every removed hero. I run 1 Nova Master, 1 F-Zero. People tell me to run 2 or 3. I prefer 1 because it's just situational, I guess. I guess it just depends on the matchup. 1 Gaia. I've been thinking about taking him out because to me he's really not that good, but then again he's just a big fat ass. So for the Exceeds, I run 1 Blade Armor and 1 Utopia. That's it. I should be running Excalibur and like other Ring 3s, but I'm pretty much fine with how it is right now. Like I've been telling everybody else, it's not made to be competitive, but it somehow is competitive. So I don't know. I pretty much just like it how it is. But there you go. There's the main deck, extra deck. I don't have a side deck because I don't prefer a side deck for this deck. It's just a fun deck right now until I decide to make something serious. But I've always wanted to do a deck profile on it. So yeah, that's it. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. If you want to see more deck profiles, more player profiles, let me know, and I'll be sure to let the rest of the team know, to get them back into it. Because to be honest, we miss you guys because we've just been so busy. But like I said, comment, rate, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing, and be sure to like our videos, share our videos, share our commentary, whatever you want. Help us help you. This is Dragon Master 2393 signing out.